everybody, welcome back. Excited for our next guest. Our first guest with Jeremy, we were learning a lot about how to use LinkedIn. Now, the last 8 weeks, 9 weeks, which feels like an eternity, we've been stuck at home, and stuck at home means video games. Well, at least that's what it means to me and every teenager out there. Everybody is live streaming. We have everybody live streaming now. We've seen it on several different platforms. You probably have lots of questions about it, and it's hard to ask. I know people go to their kids and they're like, tell me what this Twitch thing is, or what's this and what's that? What is this live streaming stuff that you're doing? They don't get it. Nobody understands what live streaming is and why people watch people stream and do all this fun stuff. So we actually have an expert on it on our show today to help us learn a little bit more. Now, she is an influencer with BIGO. Hopefully I'm saying that right, but we're going to welcome our guest to the show, the wonderful Miss Kelsey Edwards. So let's bring Kelsey in. Kelsey, how you doing today?
Good. How are you? Thanks for having me.
It's just another day in paradise, stuck in quarantine.
Quarantine paradise, that's for sure.
Quarantine paradise. We should get Coolio to make a song and we'd be set. But unfortunately, he won't. We should try it. So I keep trying. So you are what's the proper title? An influencer, a ambassador for BIGO?
Yeah, I don't know. I prefer just the word creator. I like to create. Yeah, it's for a live streaming app. It's called BIGO.
BIGO.
And yeah, BIGO. It stands for, I guess it's an abbreviation for Before I Get Old, which is really or not abbreviation, an acronym, which is it's very nice. It's a nice little sentence. But yeah, so I'm a creator. I guess I'm a live streamer. I create content. I sing on there. I'm also an actress. And I create all from a variety of content on different social media platforms. But yeah, it's been good.
So what kind of songs do you sing? We had a singer on our show last week, Phil Paz. He is a retired police officer who he sang like a whole bunch of like country songs that I didn't know the songs to, but a whole bunch of people did. So are you singing country music, or what are you singing? Your own work or somebody else's work? You don't look like you're singing country music, but what kind of music are you singing?
I do a lot of like indie electronic, indie pop kind of music. Alt pop. I just had a song come out almost like 2 weeks ago actually, which was fun. But then a lot of times on my streams I'll either sing my music or I sing covers of other people's songs and stuff like that. But yeah, I'll kind of like acoustic pop, indie pop, or whatever. But yeah, I love to do music, and it's been cool to be able to bring it to Spotify, or not to Spotify, bring it to BIGO and like build Spotify too, yeah. But build like a live streaming audience around my music and stuff like that too. Be able to share that with people all around the world. So
that is awesome, and I think that's the great thing about platforms like BIGO and all the other. I think you guys stand out. So let's break that down. People hear of course, another rival platform that's out there. That's you think of streaming. Let's just say it. Everybody thinks of Twitch, right? Which is kind of this gigantic beast. Everybody knows about it. You've heard even more about it during the pandemic because that's where people are spending a majority of their time. People are making money doing these things, being sponsored, being part of it. So you're with BIGO. So what is the difference? Like if you're like apples to apples playing this, like, okay, what's the difference? What is the difference between your platform and say Twitch? Let's just pick on Twitch because they're the big guy.
That's a good question. Yeah, Twitch is very popular, very, very common. That's what everybody thinks of when they hear live streaming. Twitch is really cool in the sense that it seems like it's almost more professional in a way. Like it's like a desktop setup. Everyone has like their headphones and the microphone and the setup, and like it's very it's just a different attitude, I would say. With BIGO, it's a lot more casual. It's a lot more like personality. It's a lot more like community based. It's a lot about making friends. We do a lot of different events and challenges, and like it's more talent based, I would guess. Like we dance a lot, we sing a lot, we do like head-to-head challenges with the broadcast, and we're climbing the ranks, and then if you win you get like a bunch of rewards, and that's money too. And so yeah, and it's also primarily mobile. You can use a desktop, but it's mostly mobile. And then the other thing that's different about it too is as far as I understand, Twitch is you primarily make money through donations from other people who are watching you. Whereas unless you're sponsored by Twitch, but on BIGO, you receive gifts from your supporters, but then also BIGO, if you're assigned host, they pay you like a salary at the end of the month based on how many beans, which is the currency, based on how many beans you've received in the month. So it's a little bit of a different structure. It's based in Singapore. It's a Chinese app. It's relatively new in the US. So it's a little bit different, like design wise, than Twitch as well. So
awesome. So oh boy, we're talking about a Chinese app. You know, right now somebody's freaking out. They're like, oh crap, one of these. You know, you hear it with TikTok all the time, and I'm like, I love TikTok. TikTok's that time suck that you could just open up your app and just spend way too much time going, how do they do that? I cannot dance like that. But it's funny to bring that up. So let's talk about like what is. We're gonna get granular here because a lot of our followers have no idea what we're talking about. Like I understand what live streaming is, but break this down for the average person who doesn't know what we're talking about. We're talking about live streaming things like we're doing for this show, right? So like, what is the power of streaming? Like help people understand why they should do this and support it. I mean, obviously you are an artist, a creator, you're on here, you're doing amazing things, and so are others. So what is the power of it? What drew you to go to it?
Yeah. Well, I think what I love so much about BIGO and live streaming in general is that it's such a raw, like, form of content. You know, I've been creating content on Instagram and YouTube for a couple of years, and I still do create content on those platforms, but the version that someone is getting of me on those platforms is an edited version. At the end of the day, it just is. It's edited. It's whatever version I want them to see of me, whatever details I want to include, whatever I want to leave out. Like it's edited. The thing I love about live streaming is it's completely raw. Like if something goes wrong on camera, like if I fall or I slip out of my chair or do something stupid, like I don't know, like there's no hiding that. Like it's just me. And I've had a lot of people who have come over from other platforms that they used to follow me on, like, or they still do, but follow me on Instagram, they follow me on YouTube, and then they've come over to see me on BIGO, and they're like, oh, like I can see so much more of your personality. And I'm like, yeah, that's what I love about it, is like you get to know like the full picture of the person when they're live streaming, like their mannerisms, like the things they say, the things they do, the way they, you know, their speech patterns. Like it's just such a, I don't know, it's just really raw, and it's a beautiful form of connection. I think my followers on BIGO, they spend hours with me a day, as opposed to people on Instagram are looking at me for 30 seconds when I post a picture or 15 seconds when they watch my story. But people on BIGO are watching me for 1 to 2 hours a day. And so they are invested in my life, and they care about me in a way that's different than some of my other followers. And they also trust me more, you know, overall. They're more invested in me, I guess.
Oh, that makes sense. I mean, that's pretty cool. So I have to ask, so what do they spend hours watching you do? Like, what's a typical, like, what is a typical day with Kelsey? Like, if they're, I mean, obviously your smart ass answer could be just watch Eric and find out. But, and obviously I want people to go follow you and go to BIGO and check out what you're doing. But what is a typical like day? These folks, what are they watching you do?
Well, that's a great question. A lot of times it's singing. Like I said, like I mentioned before, I do sing. I'm a musician. I release music. And so a lot of times I'm singing on there. Like I'm doing covers. I'm testing out new covers. I'm showing them my new music. I'm showing them, you know, my new projects, whatever else is going on in my life. I'm giving them like sneak previews of things I'm working on. Sometimes I'm recording a song and I'll stream while I'm doing that. So a lot of it's music based. But if I'm not doing music that day, honestly, like people always, it's hard to understand this, but a lot of times people just want to hang out. They come into your room, they chat, they like, maybe they're doing something else at home, maybe they're doing laundry, maybe they're doing the dishes, and they just have me on their phone, like talking to them in the background, and then they type and they're chatting. And it's so much about a community. It's so much about friends. It's about, it's a social life, honestly. For a lot of people, I think the app caters to people who are maybe a little more introverted in some ways. And so for a lot of them, especially during quarantine, we're all kind of introverted right now, you know. And right now, like it's a huge social thing for so many people, for myself included. Like I have friends all over the world now, and these people, it's the same thing. They just want to make friends. We have connection. We talk about funny things, talk about what's going on our day, or talk about the media. We talk about what's going on in, you know, just anything, like funny things that happened in each of our days. They want to tell me their problems, and they want to hear my problems. And I don't know, it's like it's friends, and they love you, and they support you with gifts. Like it's so cool.
It's cool. People just give me things. This is great.
Yeah. I love it. But I will say that a huge part of the support that comes in Beans is also from other broadcasters. So like my other friends who are also hosts on the app, they send me beans and then I send them back. Like, it's very much like we support each other, we're growing each other, we're all helping each other make money together. Basically, it's a really fun concept.
That's awesome. This is cool. I'm checking it out. This is pretty dope.
Yeah, you should.
It's a cool platform. I mean, and obviously giving back to people. It's cool to meet people around the world. I've always been amazed by that. And it's funny you talk about being an introvert, because I think a lot of us have realized either you are one or you're not one. I know I'm definitely not. I miss being out. I miss being around people and places and things and traveling. And I mean, you're an actress also, so I'm sure it's different for you. You're completely like this. I mean, obviously you're using this to become, you've found success doing this. I mean, how does this play into, there's no film production going on right now. If there is, it's very limited. We've talked to we just actually had an interview on Friday with Lenny Thomas from Ruthless on BET. And he was talking about, film production's down, and, he's in Atlanta, which is where Tyler Perry films, but kind of going through those struggles. Obviously this has been a way for you to find success. So, I mean, how is your success on this now with people following you? I mean, are you earning a pretty decent income off of this? I mean, is this a revenue driver for you? So you're like, yes, it's better than driving an Uber, or, I mean, kind of like break that down, because people are out here and we have 40 million people unemployed. So looking for a place to make money. And if you're a creator, obviously, this sounds like a place for creators. Definitely need to be. I'm looking at it while you're talking, and I'm like, this is a cool platform. This is dope.
I know, right?
And the fact that you sing, I mean, it's amazing. I mean, you obviously you're talented. It's great to see an actress out here, and you're able to probably practice talking to people, which is good, since you don't get to do that in real life. Out in public, you get to sit there and talk to people. So, like, what's it like to be successful on here? Like, what's that look like for somebody? If somebody was on here and they're watching us and they're like, okay, great, Kelsey and Eric are sitting here doing their thing. Well, how do I make this? Like, what's the first step to getting into, just working out with BIGO?
BIGO has been awesome because my job hasn't changed at all since in quarantine. It's actually probably gotten better because people are at home more and they're on their phones more. I started BIGO a year ago when I moved to LA, and there was a lot of changes happening in my life anyways with moving, and I was like, why not? Let's add one more to the mix. I'll try this out. And I was kind of hesitant at first because I've already been on so many different social media apps and was already making money on Instagram and making money on YouTube a little bit and doing stuff there, that I was super hesitant to add one more thing to my plate. But I was like, yeah, let's try it. So in the first couple months, it was a little bit of a slow grow, but I made money enough that I was like, okay, this is worth it for me to keep going. And by my second month on the app, I had replaced my full-time income, which was crazy to me. I've spent months and months and months trying to grow on Instagram and YouTube and make money from those platforms. But then by my second month on BIGO, I'd made more money than I'd ever made on any other app. So I was like, oh, okay, I guess there might be something to this. I guess I'll keep going. So I kept going, and I just kept growing and growing and growing and learning different strategies and learning how to look at it more like a business and with investments and returns and things like that. And yeah, it's my full-time job. It pays really well. It's good money. And now I'm also, recruiting for the app too. So I work for the agency that I'm in. I work for them, and I bring people onto the app and teach them and train them and stuff like that and help them learn how to use BIGO. And yeah, it's been a lot of fun. It's I think the thing that I love the most about it is not only the connection, the global community around the world, but also for me as a musician and as an actress, it's such an amazing way to be able to share my talents with people. When I released this song 2 weeks ago, people were more excited about Salt, which is what it's called. It's called Salt. People were more excited about Salt on BIGO than they were on any other platform. Every single live stream room that I went into, everyone was playing my song, and it was just amazing. All my friends were like, oh yeah, we streamed your song earlier in my broadcast. Oh, I told this person to listen to your song. I told this person to listen to your song. I just shared this song with everybody else. It was the support was just insane. And I had people in other countries listening to my song. I just had a friend from Japan play my song in his broadcast. Everywhere I go, it was I just was overwhelmed by the amount of support for my talents, for things that I am really wanting to pursue. BIGO's not my end game. It's not the thing I want to do as my passion, you know what I mean? But it's very much a means to helping me pursue my passions and grow an audience within those fields, which is really been such a blessing for me as an actor and as a musician to not have to do a job Uber, not that there's anything wrong with that, like Uber deliveries or whatever it may be, waitressing or something. It's just nice for me. I prefer to have flexibility of my schedule and be able to set my own hours, do my own thing, work for myself, and be able to control those things. So yeah, it's honestly been the biggest blessing. I don't think I could have anticipated what it's become for me, but it's been so wonderful.
That is awesome. That's terrific. It's cool to hear that, there's resources out there. We have a lot of people who are looking for work. So it's definitely one of those good things that there's a way out there to do it. And again, there's nothing wrong with doing Uber and all those things. We've got by the last 9 weeks. I wouldn't have been able to eat for a number of days if I didn't have delivery sent to me. And well, I love those people. I love the people who drive for Amazon too. They are my best friend. I love those folks too. But I mean, this has been interesting to learn about this. So folks want to learn more about BIGO. Where do they go? How can they connect with you if they're going to go on there? Obviously, we want to send them there and give you all the referrals for all of it. So, and we're going to put a link. You can tell me what link you want me to use to make sure when people are watching this on YouTube that they can click that link and go to it, and it benefits you because you came on. So
thanks. I appreciate that. Thank you for that. Yeah, that'd be great. I mean, if people want to learn about the app, I would definitely recommend they reach out. So anybody can download the app. Anybody can use the app. But in order to be a paid broadcaster and get the salary at the end of the month, you have to be an official host. And in order to be an official host, you have to be in an agency. So that's where someone like me comes in, as I would recruit someone who wants to learn more. I would teach them. I'd help them audition. I'd help you get all set up and help you grow. So yeah, I would definitely, if you're interested in learning more, you can send me an email. I'll give you guys my email address, and you can reach out and say you saw me on this podcast and or this show, and you can ask me for any questions you might have, and I can give you some details and can set you up with an audition. So yeah, that'd be great. It's been fun.
Well, awesome. Well, thanks, Kelsey. This has been so enlightening. I mean, we have a lot of people asking questions about, number one, how to find work. Number two, how technology helps to do it. I mean, you don't think of live streaming. It's not the first place people are like, I could do that. But there's a lot of creative people out there, obviously, like yourself. I'm going to go check out your music when we're done here because I'm always excited. Plus, I love indie music, so I'm excited. Should I go listen to it on the platform, or should I go look for it on where I stream music? Which one?
Yeah, if you want to listen to my music,
better?
I would love that. Like I said, I do have a new song that just came out. It's called Salt. It's on all platforms: Spotify, iTunes, Apple Music, anywhere you can listen to music. You can find Salt. You can follow me on Instagram. It's Kelsey Marie Edwards. YouTube's Kelsey Edwards. Basically, if you look for Kelsey Edwards anywhere, you'll probably find me.
It's you. That's how we found you when I was doing my research. I was like, there she is. There she is. From San Antonio, a Texan living in LA.
That's true.
Like two different worlds. But I want to thank you for coming on and enlightening our audience. We'll have to have you back on to talk about this again soon and talk about your music. I know we're talking about BIGO this time, but I'm a huge fan of music. We talk about music a lot here. We'll have to bring Jordan on, and we'll talk about your music. And maybe, would you ever play live for us?
Yeah, I'd love that. That'd be awesome.
Sweet. That'd be fun. We love music on this show. We just had a guy literally perform on our show last week, and that's what we talked about, was like he sang, and it was so dope because people were like, and then people started doing requests. I was like, okay, this is getting extreme. They're like, play Queen. I'm like, oh, come on. The guy's like, he's like, look, I know like 80 songs, and Queen, like they're like some random Queen song. It's not even like We Are the Champions or Bohemian Rhapsody or something. I'm like, okay, he's one guy. Like, what do you want him to do? Like,
he's got a large repertoire.
Oh, somebody also wanted Tool. The dude was like he's like 54, and they wanted Tool. I was like, that's not his music. Wrong. Try again. Go through the list. But anyways, but we'll have you back on. Thank you so much for joining us.
That'd be great.
Awesome. So everybody, go check out Kelsey Edwards wherever you can. Download her music. For sure, go do it on every platform. Go listen to it. Follow her on Instagram. Tell her you've heard us here, heard her music here, because then we'll have her on and she'll play her music for us live. So Kelsey, thanks so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it. Thank you so much.